How long we been friends for, dude? Over a year now?
Over a year now. You came here both
2
from
years
San
ago.
Diego. We both went to the same high school.
Hey, if it's just Tim, I'm popping it. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to do that here?
Yeah, you
am
can
I
pop
allowed
it.
to? Am I allowed to nicotine in here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you can
Couldn't bring my dog in here, but I can fucking do a Zin. That's crazy.
Dude, you can do a little pouch. No pooch, though.
Was that a riff? Did you write that?
Yeah, we're New Boots riffing right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I tell you, you're the riff master. Jesus.
Yeah. Timmy, so you've been here for like a year and a half now.
2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years in end of August.
Okay. And then we probably met like a year. Okay, I guess we probably met like a year and a half ago then.
Yeah.
And, you've been the weird one on campus for a while.
Keep going.
You just, I spotted you out. You were unique originally.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Give me your impression from the get-go, because this is kind of funny.
Yeah. No, impression from the get-go was first 2 shows we were on together, you bombed your tits off. And
There were 2 of the worst bombs I've ever had.
Which is so funny.
Back to back.
And you were such a nice guy. You're like, hey, I'm Tim. I'm from San Diego. And I'm like, what's up, man? And you went up there and just immediately called these 2 morbidly obese fat people. Just like you asked if the guy was a woman. Tell us the story of the first time I saw you.
Well, the first time I saw you, I got lit early. It was probably the first time I've ever gotten lit early, because my material was so bad that I was just trying to do crowd work, and so I was doing crowd work at a 4-person attendance bar.
Yeah.
And then and then I guess the guy who runs it, he heard somebody in the back be like, "This guy sucks," and then they left. So he's like, because I walked somebody, I think he lit me early, and I was really mad about that.
Well, I know, but when you walk a couple and there's
It
6
makes
people
sense.
there,
It makes sense. I got really reflecting on it now. It's like, hey man, totally fine. But at the time, I was really, really mad, which was kind of a weird reaction. But
yeah.
But anyways, so that was probably the first time you saw me. I was like, hey, I'm Tim. Hey, I'm going up.
Yeah.
And then so I was supposed to do 10. I probably did like 7.
Yeah.
And then the next, and I thought it was funny to be like, how would you rank? And I still think it's kind of funny to be like, ask somebody, so how would you rank everybody on the show so far? And she was like, she put me at the bottom.
Oh, you did that on stage?
I think so. And she's like, yeah, but I just don't like crowd work. It makes me uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And then
tell us about the notorious.
And then the worst bomb I've ever had was I had just won the New Faces spot at Roscoe's by just riffing and whatever. Because my material was so bad that I just started. It would go better if I was just doing crowd work and riffing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean I was doing well necessarily. It just means I was doing less bad.
No, I get it. You're trying to survive.
Yeah.
You're just trying to survive anything. I'm right there with you.
And so I was on stage. I did New Faces is like you do 4 minutes at this Roscoe's open mic, and then if you have the best set of the night, you get a 5-minute spot.
Yep.
On a Friday show, basically. And
I'm a New Faces alum too. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm a New Faces headlining alum. But yeah, so I probably get up close to midnight, which is an excuse, and I'm going up there, and so I do my material. I'm like, this isn't working, so I'll just go into my riffs. And
to clarify, you were like the nicest guy in the green room. Like, what's up, everybody? You're just like,
hey, what's up, guys?
I'm Tim.
I used to talk like that too.
Yeah, my name's Tim. I'm from San
Diego. Hey, everybody. And what's going on, guys?
I like this guy. But
great guy, horrible comic.
Comic.
And then I went up and I did, and the first riff I did, crowd work bit, is there were these 2 really fat black people, and I wasn't even trying to be funny. It was just like you're just talking, and like the first thing that comes to mind, you just kind of say it, or at least that was my approach.
I'm standing
in
the back watching.
They both kind of look like woman, I guess, but like maybe one of them was like male passing, and I was like, are you guys both women? And then one of the guys was
exactly
like,
what you
no. I really, it was like a genuine moment. I guess I was trying to be funny, but I don't know. So I said that, and then the guy was like, no, I'm a guy. So that wasn't good. And then at the end of, I was only doing like 5 or 6 minutes, and then at the end of my set, and then I used to do this thing where I was like, I took an improv class, but I'm not gay. I like to do some improv with you guys. Can you give me a suggestion of, I don't know, something you hate? And then somebody says something, and I'm like, deaf people? What the fuck? That's so fucked up. I'm not gonna do that. And they didn't like that. And then I at the end I was like, look, I'm sorry. That's all I said. I ended the set by saying I'm sorry. And then someone was booed, and then I was like, and then I was like kind of trying to say as a joke, I'm like, oh, you're booing me? I'm not gonna cry. I swear. And then somebody in the audience said it would be a lot funnier if you did. And then everybody died.
Oh,
and
it was
then
the funniest thing
and
ever.
Then I got
bullied by
offstage.
everybody.
Yeah, it was horrible. I think that was the first time that's the only time I've gotten booed.
Yeah. But so these were the first 2 times I met you. And I'm like, this is a nice guy, and I might not see him for much longer. But then we had the Sunset audition, and that was the first time I think I saw like you do like really well. It's like a risk reward kind of ratio where you went up there as almost a job interview. So it was a Sunset audition to where everybody's going up for 3-4 minutes to try to become a door guy at Sunset. We both didn't get it, but you had, I thought, one of like the better sets of the nights because you treated it like an actual interview. You showed up suit and tie, or like just full tie. You had like your resume. And how did you come up with that? In like you planned it that day, or you?
Yeah, so like for me, like just
mindset?
putting yourself in my situation, like again, like my material wasn't good. The fact that I got that audition, I think, was because I had a show that was doing really well that I booked people on, and it was because I was like, yeah. So it was doing really well. I like come from marketing. I was just able to sell a lot of tickets, and then I kind of stopped caring. So it's still going on, but it's not doing well. And anyways, so I think that's why I got it. Because I was really surprised, like over 300 people apply. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then they had like 40 people audition or some ridiculous amount of people. And
I think it was only like
20,
30. Yeah, but yeah, still.
Something.
But you got it.
So I got it. And then my thought process was like, I kind of have always just been somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to take a big swing because I have nothing to lose, particularly back in those days. I really, because I was like, I could go up and like have a bad set with this, really mid at best material. And I was like, yeah, like I have no chance of winning it. Like, cause you looked at the lineup and you're like, Jesus Christ, these people are trying to be door guys.
Yeah, these guys are hilarious.
I was like, these guys are like the opener feature for Ralph Barbosa was like trying to be a door guy. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm fucked. It was like literally the best comics in Austin were like auditioning. And I was like, all right, well, I'm totally fucked. So I might as well just like try something.
Yeah.
And then so I just had the idea of, I didn't know how it was going to go. I had no confidence in it necessarily.
No idea.
But I was like, yeah, I'm just going to treat it like it's an interview, which ended up being like a good idea.
Yeah.
And then it was funny, like I showed up and I like told you and Hunter Parker, I was like, yeah, I'm going to, because you guys were like, why are you dressed like that?
Yeah. Because
everybody's
just dressed normally.
I was like, yeah, is it funny to like kind of treat it like an interview, like I have reviews? And then you guys didn't laugh at all at the idea.
Really? Like, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, not at all. And you looked really concerned.
I did, because I had met you a couple times. You were a super nice guy, and it was like I cared, and I
you
never
want
seen
me
you
to
do
do well.
I want you to do well.
Yeah.
And then it's like your new buddy shows up in a fucking tie, and like, I'm going up as an actual interview, and I've seen you like bomb your tits off.
Yeah. You're
2
like,
other
poor
times.
Poor guy.
I know.
And then
you crushed it. It was fun.
So then I go up and I'm like, I'm just doing this interview bit, and I'm like, yeah, I have reviews, and so I like read these like reviews I had printed up, like LinkedIn fake reviews.
Yeah.
And one of them was like Hitler, and it was like pretty good for a Jew or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I said, I don't know, I did. Yeah, like the thing that got the biggest laugh was just like something I riffed. I'm still surprised. I don't like get why this got such a big laugh. But it was like availability wise, I'm very available. Yeah. And that like everybody died at that. And then I should have just kept riffing off the interview thing, but then I like went into material and then bombed. So I had like 2 minutes of like great shit, then 2 minutes of kind of bombing. But yeah. So anyways. That was, I did that, and that went, well, and I think that gave me more confidence to just keep trying shit. And
Yeah.
I've just tried so many different things. Like, I remember at the Roscoe's mic, one time I like tried this thing where the cord I had the cord disconnect, and then I just mouthed the entire set, and then realized it was unplugged, and then plugged it in at the end of like 3.5 minutes. I was like, oh my God, did you guys hear any of that? And that at best that divided the room.
Yeah.
I think some comics found that really funny.
No.
And I tried that at a show, and
Oh, you tried it at a show?
because it makes no sense. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can like fucking see the guy. Maybe if it's like an arena or something like that. Oh, that might be funny to do at an arena.
Well, dude, I think
Is that funny? Is that a funny idea? Also, disconnecting a microphone at like an arena
it's insane.
is insane. I totally fuck up everything.
Yeah, it's like, once again, like taking full risk, and you could have thousands of people hate it, or thousands of people be like, fuck yeah.
And now I'm like in
love
this
it.
place where like now that stuff is going better, and like people will like recognize me at a show. I'm really trying to resist the temptation of not taking a big swing, but I'm definitely like feeling resistance for the first time at like doing that. But I think I'm still trying stuff. Like I tried this thing last night with this new character called Rosa Parquet, which I guess is a big swing to fucking do that. And I have this idea. I'm like trying to build out the act. And I really am obsessed with this idea of like an Inception type thing where, I do Timmy No Brakes into an impression of a generic white guy into what is now like a 9 to 10 minute act out of this character. And like, so I'm setting it up as this, me, which is generic white guy, where I'm like, oh my God, I did this show like in San Diego, and they had this guy from like across the border who was like very foreign, very Mexican, who was there for an interview to be a bartender, and he thought that this was how the interview was going, so he just got on stage and he started doing the interview and like reading, and like so this guy fucking comes up to stage, grabs the microphone and is like, hello, my name is, and then that goes on for 9 minutes. And at the end I'm like, it was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
and then I want to do that, and then I want to do that, and then so I like come out of that sort of impression or whatever, and then I put on a leather jacket, and I'm like, and that was an impression of a generic white guy. So it's like this Inception thing that unrolls.
Yeah.
And maybe someday I'll like add another layer. So I don't know if that's gonna work, or how that's gonna work, but I'm gonna start trying that.
I think for me, like when you first got here, you immediately just like it started a show. And in my head, I'd been here for like a year or so earlier than you. And I kind of had in my head, I'm like, oh, I suck. So I need to make sure I just do all the mics and just keep doing mics. And maybe one day somebody will freaking notice me. And you were like, yes, I'm going to keep doing all the mics, but I'm also going to create something. So I'm in front of a real audience and testing it in front of real people. And then having that willingness to be able to go ahead and then bomb in front of everybody on your own show. And I would see that early on with you, and I'm like, fuck, that's like it balls, but also I'm like, is this guy like stupid? But then I'd see you'd crush. But the first few times I'd see you, I'm like, you just went up there and just started fucking going for whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm
do
like,
a lot of snap stuff.
yeah, I'm Timmy No Brakes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not back then. But
yeah. But yeah, it kind of motivated me to be like, all right, I'm gonna actually need to like create my own little fucking show so I can then create more stage time for myself to actually like test more things and run more stuff. And another thing I saw about you is like you were also like a character guy, and I come from like improv sketch background, also trying to jump into stand up, and sometimes it's like you don't fully fit in with the grooves, and a lot of people are like, oh, this guy's doing a fucking character on a stand up show. Like you're not doing the show. It's like showing up to a basketball game with fucking soccer gear and be like, I'm gonna kick the fucking basketball. People sometimes see that as like you're fucking up the show. And so that was kind of like when I
didn't know. So like I thought like everybody was either didn't care or thought it was great. Yeah, that was like sort of like what I thought was the consensus. And then I haven't heard anybody. I don't know who's talking shit, but like apparently there's a lot of people who fucking hate me. They're talking shit about it, and it's like whatever. I mean, like it's kind of out of sight, out of mind a little bit because I don't know who they are or what they're saying. But yeah, there's a good amount. Apparently, like everybody, there's like a lot of people who are like, "Fuck that guy!" Like he's like ripping off dice and like all this sort of stuff. And I get it. It was never the intention. I know Jake. Do you know that this guy Jake Rika?
Yeah, I know
Apparently,
Jake Riga, yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's been talking tons of shit.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like,
he is.
he actually like threatened, apparently like he's telling people he's gonna kill me or something.
Yeah, he'll do that. Well, that's why he
So he sent me
show.
he sent me a death threat. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm Jake Rica.
Now you know.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't put a face to the name.
Yeah.
Hey man, cut that shit out. All right.
Doors are locked.
He's just gonna gas the entire room.
Yeah, but I think for me, like with like seeing you do a bunch of characters, it's been motivating for me to like implement more of the shit that I used to do.
Just do what you like.
Do
That's
what you
I
like.
think. Like,
yeah.
To me, and I'm this isn't me blowing smoke. To me, you're like one of the most naturally funny people. Like there's people that are like good at stand up,
Yeah.
but they're not funny people, you know, in my mind. They're not that like this Jake Ricky guy. I'm just kidding. But there's, you know, like there's you know, a couple people where like if you're just talking to them, like you're like this is just a funny person. And so I think like a lot of those people, it's, you know, myself included, it's just like we're just trying to translate what makes us funny in real life or like weird to stage. And like I was never necessarily a character. I think the thing that I was just trying to do was just the stuff that like the first joke I ever wrote was like me coming out and being like, this was in San Diego, me coming out and being like, what's up, New York? How we doing? You know? And then I do like this joke of like, yeah, I know it's really cold outside, so thanks for making it out. On the way here, I slipped on some ice. It was a real pain in the ass. Sorry, I'm a East Coast comic, so I wrote all my jokes are based there. So like it's, you know, like that's not like, you know, it was the first thing I ever did, but like I was always just naturally drawn to like thinking, you know, making fun of like what we're doing. Like it's like stand up is just this like really unnatural thing a lot of the time where we just come on stage and start talking about, oh my God, I was doing my laundry. And it's like not to be disrespectful, but like that's kind of feels stupid sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
it doesn't feel organic. Sometimes I think especially early on, and still I'll catch myself doing it where you're not connected with the audience.
Oh,
and you're kind of like doing like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic doll song and dance where you're doing your bits and you're hitting your punches and people are kind of looking at you, but you can feel like, oh, that's not a real person up there actually doing, or they don't actually feel that way.
Yeah.
And so I've been really trying to catch myself now on like how to really be in the moment and also finding what's funny. When I first started, I'm like, what does everybody else want to hear? What is funny? It's like, what do you...
Also, what is stand-up? I got to do that. That was the feedback I got, and I stopped doing these like alt things, you know, I guess, you know, like you could call it alt stuff. But even as generic white guy, like none of them, I'm still not doing jokes.
Yeah.
Really. But they're just concepts. They're just ideas that I think are funny ideas that I'm doing, but it's not, most of it isn't like a setup and a punchline really.
Yeah. Well, what I loved about like when I was doing improv is the game itself, they would set it up for you to be like, all right, so in this scene, we're going to have two characters. They're going to be in a suggestion. All right, Paris, they're going to jump in, and here's the twist. And everybody kind of knows the rules, and then you can just jump in and be free. So I would get on stage, and I'd try to do like the improv-esque part, but I wouldn't do the fucking setup.
Yeah.
So people are like, this guy's just, I'd bomb my dick off. So like this past like 2 years is me trying to learn how to like do that, like the setup, even just as in a regular joke setting.
Yeah.
How do you actually like communicate so they see what the hell you're doing, or you just jump into it and they got to get with it?
I think like a lot of it is like you kind of have to like sometimes like the problem seems to be, and obviously we're figuring out, like I'm 2 months in. I think it's like the audience just needs to be really clear on like call it the premise or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it feels like we don't telegraph it enough.
No.
Because like if they don't get what the entire setup, there's nothing. Yeah, you're fucked.
You're so fucked.
And
It's
it's
just me
really
learning
hard.
how to get them to see what you're trying to say. There's so much. That's usually my biggest issue, where I'm just like, how do I efficiently get them to see what I'm saying? And then I have the freedom to then actually jump into, because most of my shit is also like weird character or like acting out from all the different perspectives, and I see like the experts at that. Like, how do I try to kind of emulate that setup, and that they could really understanding how to communicate the setup, and then you have free form. Once they're with you, you can go any fucking where you want, and that kind of allows me to figure out.
Also, the
freedom
like
looks
Chuck
like.
E. Cheese animatronic thing,
Yeah.
I totally relate to. It seems
Yeah.
like I think like two things that like are really difficult skills that make like professional comics really professional is like one, the like ability to make stuff seem like you're saying it for the first time,
Yep.
which is so hard, and then two is just consistency. Like no matter what your mood is or how you feel or whatever, be able to like come on stage. And I guess the third is like even when you're trying out new stuff, just like being able to like increase the likelihood that it hits just because you have enough experience doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you're like, that, like everybody bombs new stuff, but I don't know. And that's so hard to make stuff feel like it's happening for the first time.
Yeah.
Or like when you need to have like a genuine, like when I'm doing the Timmy No Brakes stuff, it's like in the beginning, it's like this really rehearsed thing where I'm doing something that isn't a punchline, but that moment where I get mad at people because they don't get it, which there's nothing to get. It's not even a joke. Like that moment is coming across, I think now as rehearsed, and it's not hitting like it used to.
Mm.
And so it's really, that's like the biggest challenge for me, I think,
Yeah.
is like when stuff needs to seem like it's off the cuff, just making it seem off the cuff.
I think one thing I was kind of curious about is just us chatting outside of this. You've been saying how you want to get away from you don't want to be just Timmy No Brakes, and so you're trying to figure out how to add those characters, new characters in. But there's also now this fear because you've gotten this. You went from like 6 weeks ago, nobody gave a fuck about what you're doing, to now you got like a good group of people that are like, what's his next thing? I want to see the next Timmy No Brakes thing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you then get away from that, and how do you figure out what that next character is going to be? Or
Yeah. I mean,
there's probably a little bit of fear because Timmy No Brakes is pretty loved right now.
yeah, but it's also just like people will stop loving it.
That's
people
true.
will, I think,
Yeah.
so
No, even the little clips I posted with us already, some people are like, how long is this shtick going to
Yeah,
last?
yeah,
And I just
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
write 2 months.
yeah. You just fucking say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like every time. So I have sort of in my mind, I've got, I think, 3 more of Timmy No Brakes before I'm going to switch to something. And then I think a big milestone is going to be is that next character received? But like the thing is, like I first started doing Timmy No Brakes like November or December. And so I counted it last, whatever, that's like 7 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like not giving myself that amount of time to do this next character.
Yeah.
But hopefully I can just figure it out faster than I figured out Timmy No Brakes, and I'll just, I'll, like that really. And what I mean by that is like not really doing it in an act, but doing it on like a big stage that's like Kill Tony. And so, yeah, when I come on and do this next character, it's going to be a big milestone in how that's received,
Yeah.
And it's scary, and we'll see. I'm not like I'm saying that expectation for myself that it's not going to be received as well, just because it's kind of impossible. Like I think Adam Ray has funnier characters and Dr. Phil's like amazing.
Yeah.
But because that was the first one, the one that blew up, none of the other ones I think are gonna get the same attention that the first one got, a lot of the time. And so I'm just trying to set that expectation, and even if people like it, I don't think I don't think it's gonna have the same reception, and that's fine. It just, I just want it to be good and like people to like it.
Yeah.
And then that's the plan, and the advice I'm getting from most people is don't do that.
Really, people are saying just stick with your.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna listen to that. I'm not gonna do that.
Interesting.
Basically, it's just like
because that's the safe route, but you never. That is the safe route to be like, this works. People are happy with it. Freaking milk it till it's dry.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, I want to end on. People want to see more, and then now you're jumping to the next thing. And
yeah, Quentin Tarantino is coming. So I'm like the Quentin Tarantino stand-up.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it like that. Yeah.
So
big feet guy. Big feet guy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He's like
comedy for feet.
His next movie is his last movie, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll see if he like comes back and stuff
kill
like
yourself.
that. Yeah, that would be,
dude.
Oh my god,
Dude,
killing
you
myself
actually
on
killed
stage.
yourself?
Yeah. And they put that out for sure, which is great. But yeah, I mean, he's like stopping while he's ahead, and I think that's like really cool.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think I'm going to like, he's going to be gone forever, but like I want to create, somebody joked to me about it is like, you're trying to create the Timmy verse. And I like that.
The Timmy verse is fun.
I think that's what I'm trying to do.
I liked in some of your stories you've been calling people Timmys.
You
What's
like
up,
that?
Timmy? Yeah, that's
my
fun.
Timmys.
Yeah, my Timmys.
Believers.
Yeah.
Believers.
The
What is
Timmys.
that? Yeah, those are my Timmys.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, I'm really excited for you. It's cool to see a friend that has been grinding really hard, is unique, and I also connect with the same kind of creativity that you do. I love like all the characters, and I do that shit too. And I think that's like how we connected early on, and it's cool to see other people appreciate that. So,
thanks, man. Yeah, I think like hopefully, because we have like a good group of like funny friends.
Yeah.
And I think any one of you guys could have the same thing happen to you if you're just, because what is luck? This is kind of gay, but like, what is luck, right? It's just preparation meets opportunity and stuff. And so I think that's all, like that's kind of what happened is like, I mean, it's 100% the Kill Tony stuff. So it's just, I was like, cool. I'm going to like, to me, it was easy. The first time was easy to do it because it was like, you got nothing to lose, like if you fall on your face and everybody's like, this sucks. I mean, yeah, that fucking sucks. And maybe you're in like a compilation of like one of the worst bombs. And super embarrassing and whatever. Yeah. But it's like I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought at worst it was just going to be like forgotten and people would be like, it's bad, whatever. But to me, like the biggest risk is not taking a risk. That's like, that's like coming from advertising. That was always our philosophy and stuff like that. So we got to do like really cool, weird stuff, but it's just, you gotta, like they're saying, this is another gay thing, but, to be remarkable, it means to be worth remarking on. And if you're not being unusual and different, nobody's going to remember it. There's like a billion. That's why, like a lot of these people that get golden tickets, like, or every one of them is like unique in some way. They have like something that makes them different, I think, for the most part. And sometimes that's like leveraging a disability a bit. They're funny, but they also, they're unique in that way. And so that adds a spin to it. For me, it's, I'm doing a character. If I did some of the jokes I do as me, it wouldn't, it would just be like whatever. So like having some layer that makes you different than everybody is just, kind of essential, I think. And like every person, luckily, what I'm interested in is doing stuff that's like original. There's just like a value I have. And so it's not like inauthentic for me to like try and do these things that are really different. But I think, everybody kind of has to figure that out. Otherwise, it's so hard to be just, I'm doing jokes. I'm a white guy doing jokes and I'm going to be successful that way. You just have to, the level of like
undeniability you have to
genius you have to just do setup punchline stuff and succeed. If just like everybody else is, it's very difficult, and luckily this is like an easier path for me because I just happen to like something that's different, so yeah, I'm just going to keep kind of doing what I think is funny and hope for the best, and we'll see what happens. But at the least, I'll be taking big swings until the day I stop doing comedy or die, I think.